Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will go through ERIKA KIRK again because I came across very interesting information that somehow I skipped. I missed those. So I think it will bring you some interesting angle to what I was saying before, which is one of the reasons they are putting her on such a pedestal is to be groomed, as she was already groomed for certain purposes, in my opinion, to be groomed to become important in the political scene, political figure, and that has a lot to do with J.D. Vance. So we're going to look into this. We will, of course, look into money a little bit more again today. Actually, she will be saying a few things herself. We will study her body language, and that is coming from someone who apparently is an expert in that field. I think we all have this sense. We are able to read people's energy and people's body. We just don't practice this too much. I think most people don't. For me personally, the longer I live, the more I trust what I feel, what my body feels, while interacting with others or observing others, because this is a level of divine intelligence that I believe we all have been given. Anyway, what else I have for you? Let me just look through my videos. Oh yeah, I have incredibly interesting video that was posted in 2022 by the Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine. And you're gonna see what is the plan for Ukraine in 2030, and perhaps that would explain why now you have Larry Fink, who is the CEO of BlackRock, sitting beside Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner during negotiations between Ukraine and Russia, right? He's there, the BlackRock guy. Let me see what else. And I almost forgot. I came across a very the video that resonates with me right now, because I have a different level of looking at things and understanding the things that I didn't before. This will be a video from Russia. And this is something that I'm sure a lot of you would like to hear, because I know still many people trust the one who is in power there. But I think the longer you live, the more you will see that you will be questioning things if you don't question them already. I just want to ask you guys, do you think we should revisit Prigozhin's story? You remember Prigozhin, the Wagner group? You remember? I was actually in Moscow when he was on his way to Moscow as well. I was actually in Russia. I wasn't in Moscow exactly in that moment. But let me know if you would like to revisit his story and the reasoning, what took place 2 years ago, I think, if not 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So before we start, I want to say thank you to Fred and John for your donations on PayPal. I have to email you, John, because I'm not sure if this is a donation or if this is a purchase for 2 books, because the amount looks like you have just purchased 2 of my books, so I will be emailing you. But to those of you who would like to support my work, this is my product. I don't have any sponsorships. This is my product number 1, Matilda and Odo's Adventures. I written the book, has beautiful illustrations here. I'm sure children will enjoy it, and it doesn't have to be given just for the Christmas. It can be given without any occasion, just because you have children to give it to. So you can email me, the link is down below, and I send you the link to PayPal, or you can just purchase it by paying the amount that is down below as well, and order the book, then I will contact you. So guys, let's start with ERIKA KIRK. Actually, let's start with this post that I came across, and it took me on a journey of discovering few things, which is just confirming what I was thinking. So this is not new, right? This is from last month. It says November 27th, last month. Turning Point USA CEO ERIKA said her organization's efforts to support a J.D. Vance presidential campaign in 2028 are already in the works. And you know what? For some reason, I skipped that. And you think, how this is possible that I skip this, right? Because this is actually the way how I see it. I skipped that because I think she said exactly those words during that time when she went on stage wearing leather pants and hugging J.D. Vance. So I think the attention went on that embracing J.D. Vance moment rather than what they are already supporting. So here is an article. Let me read you this quickly. Of course, this can be, always perceived. This is fake news, right? But it looks like this is legit. ERIKA KIRK says Turning Point's support of J.D. Vance in 2028 is in the works. So let's read this, guys. ERIKA KIRK said that Turning Point support of Vice President J.D. Vance in a possible 2028 presidential election bid is in the works. Kirk, the wife of late conservative activist Charlie Kirk, made the comments to Megyn Kelly during her live show in Glendale, Arizona over the weekend. Also, my mistake, apologies. So this was when she was talking to Megyn Kelly, when she was promoting his book, where the flowers appeared and then disappeared. You remember that, right? So here is what she said. That was the thing that my husband was very direct about it. It was interestingly enough, one of the last few conversations we had was how intentional he was about supporting JD for 28. Kirk said to Kelly. So of course, one of the last talks they had, it was that Turning Point has to support J.D. Vance. And I'm telling you, they will be pushing her for the vice president without shadow of a doubt. If they don't remove Trump sooner, because I think one of the options now is that they would like to probably, very much likely, remove Trump before, put J.D. Vance in, and then she can just, attach herself. I mean, she's attached already. Kirk's comment came as Vance has taken on a larger role in spreading Turning Point's message following Charlie Kirk's death. So I'm not going to read the rest of it, but it looks like. And when you look at him, what you see, I mean, I woke up to the truth as well. In the beginning, I didn't really trust him in the beginning, but then when he went to Munich, a conference in Munich, and he gave this speech about silencing people and how European Union is acting and other countries, UK as well, even though not in EU kind of acts like an EU. I was like, no, he's talking sense, right? He's talking some sense. But Peter Thiel, Palantir, and all of the bodies around him, actually, that's what matters really at the end of the day. So free speech, and then at the same time, we have someone who is absolutely AI, digital control. That's how it looks like. So now let's go to ERIKA KIRK again. From that gala in Mar-a-Lago, Trump's property. I have a video from it, so let me mute myself and let's take a listen what she has to say from the very gala.
It's just unfathomable, but yes, by the end of this year, we'll be hitting 5 billion within all of our accounts, which is incredible. I'm so proud of our team. I'm so proud of our team. So that is definitely not going to be slowing down.
So before I continue, because there will be more, at first I thought 5 billion, as far as Turning Point USA or whatever, all the accounts. But what she meant is the 5 billion views from all the accounts, channels they have in total, right? So let's continue. She will say a few more things here.
I'm actually really excited about that. My parents instilled in me at a very young age, and Charlie's amazing parents instilled in him at a very young age, is tradition. My husband, as tradition, would donate his entire paycheck back into the organization. I am following suit. It is my honor and deepest pleasure to pledge my entire paycheck back into this organization. It's just unfathomable.
All right, so I think this is a good moment to analyze her body language a little bit more. And I think before we go into the expert, someone who specializes in reading people, I think, like I said in the beginning of this video, we all have this sense installed in us as a humankind. I believe we do, but some people don't exercise it enough. I want to take you to this creepy interview, and I would like you to focus on her eyes, okay? Focus on her eyes, because yesterday I said that she is a witch, some form of witch. I actually think this is very much likely. She is involved in some sacrificial stuff, some ceremonies, whatever she's doing, I have no idea, but something really bad that gives really bad vibes. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find the right video, guys, for you. But that's one aspect of it. There is another aspect. When I looked at this specific video right here, that I will be clicking on in a moment, this one, her eyes were like shape-shifting. So many of you who are watching my channel know my take on this. I don't think we only have human species on this planet. We have other reptiles and so-called creatures that are coexisting with us. And, you know, now this is the time of awakening. A lot of people are able to hear things or see things that they were not able to see before. And when I look at her face and I look at her eyes, I almost feel like this is some form of demon possessed or some form of other creature that is running her in this flesh, because the eyes are very giving. So let me mute myself and we go to this video. It's not as much as what she says that matters for me personally in here, but is the face expression, especially her eyes. So let's take a look, guys.
Is there a difference, ERIKA, between forgiving someone in a religious and spiritual sense, but also wanting justice for them here on earth?
No, of course. But we serve a just God. And I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He
I would like to say a few things. So, you know, some of you who are watching me frequently, that sometimes I have issues playing Instagram videos. The video is slowing down. I think mainly is due to internet. Some days are better, some days are not. But actually today, this slowing down is serving us well, because you can see the motion of her eyes in a slow motion, right? You can see the expression of it. So please don't be bothered by these videos going slow. Just focus on her eyes.
He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Is there a difference, ERIKA?
So you could see it. It was really, really off for me. This entire interview is off, and mainly all the interviews she gave lately. And why, you might wonder why I am showing her so much again, is because they are still manipulating people. And if people don't see, and they keep on manipulating people, if people don't stop and wake up and see through all of this. So even though you will be saying it's not significant, because in a big scene, this really is not. However, I'm telling you, if things will go according to their plan, sooner or later, she will end up at the White House. That's how I see it. That is the plan, in my opinion, again. And you know who she will be praising? Let me just play this video.
Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us. Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us.
That's right. So the direction will continue with Shabbat Shalom. And we will go to Shabbat Shalom. Of course, we have to go to Shabbat Shalom because the Elohim worshippers, the synagogue of Satan, you cannot forget that, can you, ever? But I would like to give a try. Hopefully this video will play smoothly to the body language expert, pointing at different stages of a liar. All right? So let's take a listen. I hope the video goes well. If it doesn't, then I will just attach it down below in the description box. I will do it anyway. But let's give a try. Maybe you will have some good sound and good video. So let's take a look.
Analyst called Blue Montauk. You can find her on X at Blue Montauk. Her real name is Jen. ERIKA KIRK is no ordinary grieving widow. So what say you?
Microexpressions, for anyone who doesn't know what those are, these are fleeting facial expressions that a person exhibits when they are trying to conceal emotions. And they either fail at doing so or they aren't delivered all the way. And they're pretty much all facial expressions. Now, there are 4 common microexpressions that are directly tied to deception. One of them is what's called incongruent emotions. And what that means is something's not adding up. A perfect example is when someone is sad or supposed to be sad, they're supposed to be in a sad time or environment, they're expressing something sad, but it's incongruent with what their microexpression or their facial feature is exhibiting. Perfect example, I'm talking about my husband dying, but I've got this huge smile, right? So that's a perfect example of an incongruent emotion. The second one is fear and anxiety. Now, this person who is going to be lying is exhibiting some form of, or they're having some sort of cognitive overload, because it's a lot to be lying, especially if you're telling a massive lie. So you will exhibit symptoms of fear and anxiety when you're doing that. Now, when you're having the symptom of fear and anxiety, it's going to be placed mostly in your eyebrows. So you will raise your eyebrows a lot and you'll squint your eyebrows together. So let me give you an example. I'm trying to cry. I'm having anxiety about not being able to cry. So I'm pulling myself in, trying to do this. And that's when you'll see those micro expressions. The next point I was going to get into, disgust or contempt. You'll see these, and those kind of two relate together. So if you see her, for example, going from giddy, happy, smiling, and then you'll see it in a flash. It happens so fast. Go into a state of contempt or disgust. When a liar is maybe feeling a little tense that they can't pull something off, they're going to have that momentary feeling of disgust with themselves. But that leads into the fourth item called duping delight. When the liar feels like I'm duping you, like I'm pulling one over on you, they have this moment of just sheer happiness. And that's when you see those flashes of giddiness and happiness. And in her, and this is what's remarkable, is she has all four of these going on. She does all four of these and she just keeps cycling.
And we're now joined.
So quite interesting analyst of her, right? Or of any liar, for that matter. In that matter, duping the lie. But actually, they are duping the lie on everyone, right? And they are duping the lies in many other stories as well. So shall we go? Where shall we go now, everyone? Let's go to Ukraine for a moment, just for a moment, because this is the future. First, we're gonna look into this. Let's see where I have this post. And again, thank you so much for your patience. You know, I have so many windows open. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, is suddenly sitting beside Witkoff and Kushner at the Ukraine negotiating table. So that's not surprising at all. We should not be surprised, in my opinion. And actually, they always tell us what's up. So let's take a look at the video that was posted by the Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine. I don't have the name, but the video is here. And that was posted back in 2022 about the plan for Ukraine in 2030. You're gonna see, okay? But you know, Chabad Lubavitch approved, so don't you worry. This is the plan. Let me mute myself now.
Сьогодні вранці президент Путін оголосив проведення спеціальної військової операції на Донбасі. Росія здійснила удари по нашій військовій інфраструктурі.
Let's look 8 years ahead. 2030. The history of the new Ukraine is studied all over the globe. Why? Because Ukraine became the most digital and convenient country in the world. Scripts have replaced bureaucrats. 500,000 former public servants are successfully integrated in the new economy. No more red tape, but paperless. No more banknotes, but cashless. Yes, we became the first country to abandon paper money. Ukraine now has the best tax system for the IT industry and the most affordable e-residency. Thanks to Ukrainian engineers and programmers, the R&D centers of the world's top technology companies operate successfully, and Ukraine ranks first in the world by the number of startups per capita. Ukrainian courts are guided by artificial intelligence, and all notarial acts take place online. Ukrainian
Sorry, guys, have you seen the 28 regions that I have presented to you about 2 videos ago? Let's just continue.
Customs is fully automatic and the fastest in the world. Customs clearance and car registration can now be done in 3 clicks from your smartphone. Because of war and internal migration, we have built the most flexible and modern digital education. Brave military and civilians get quality treatment with modern remote monitoring and e-health systems. Ukraine also has the most effective cyber defense in the world. After the horrors of 2022, Ukraine focused on security systems. Now every production facility has its air defense system, and the sleep of Ukrainians is protected by an ultra-modern Iron Dome. The Ukrainian government is digital, more like an IT company in terms of the efficiency of implementing decisions, and one can register a land plot, start construction, open a business or get a license, and register a car or real estate from a smartphone, automatically, in 1 click. Ukraine is the freest and digital. This is all because international partners and the world's leading technology companies supported the Digital for Freedom initiative and united to help Ukraine recover through digitalization. Building a new Ukraine together, free and the fastest, brave and digital.
So, digital paradise, everyone. in the making, approved by Chabad Lubavitch. So digital ID, digital currency. It looks like everything can be done on the phone. It kind of reminds me that Max application that Russia already has. And, digital ruble, by the way, next year, 2026, is a deadline for the banks to introduce. This is just an option now, but we have 2030, so it's still enough time. Digital ruble next year is going to be in Russia. Actually, I'm going to read you this article probably tomorrow or in another video. But 28 regions. You remember that video with Zelensky that I was presenting to you? Servant of the people? It was like a comedy and joke, but they always tell you in advance what's going to happen. Investments. So we're going to have some investments from different countries. And where shall I take you now as far as Shabbat Shalom? Let's look into this post. Those of you who reside in Florida in United States, I'm sure you're already aware of it, but if you're not, let me find the post again. I have so many, guys. Just bear with me. If you didn't know, now you will know. You know who is this? This is Ron DeSantis, who is the governor of Florida. You see what's down below here? Chabad Lubavitch. Do you see this? I'm telling you, if you don't follow the track with this, you really don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter what's the military move. This is what you follow. This is the truth behind who is pulling the strings. The faces of Israel, much younger, right? Here we go. And this is someone reacted with the clown mask. Before I take you to a reminder, a video with Ursula the witch, that is like truly reptile, von der Leyen. I was thinking about this lately, the criteria to see how someone is aware or awakened. So I would say the first criteria is when you ask someone a question, what was Shmovit? And did you get the substance, the injection? Well, actually, there is more in the substance, right? They are tracking you. They are tracking you literally with the substance inside. They have this mini stuff inside that they can track. So the first question is, did you get the thing during Shmovit? The second question is, what is your position on Israel? Meaning, did you go and kiss the wall? Or you didn't? Anyone, absolutely anyone, who goes and kisses the wall or touches the wall is controlled. 100%. 100%. Don't forget that, guys. I know a lot of you are still in this illusion that Russian government is, free, etc. BS. Absolutely controlled. Controlled opposition, actually. That's what you say. We're going to play the last video from Russia, but now let's go to Ursula the Witch with a video that I'm sure you've seen already. I showed you on my channel, but you probably have seen on other channels, that Europe stands for the same values as Talmud. And then we will listen to a short clip about what really is in Talmud.
Europe is the values of the Talmud, the Jewish sense of personal responsibility, of justice, and of solidarity. Europe is the values of the Talmud,
You remember it, right? So now let me find the video in which you will have few key points about what really the Talmud says, because I never read Talmud. I'm sure majority of you never read Talmud. I'm sure majority of us never even held Talmud in your hands. So let's take a listen.
The Book of Talmud is, after the Hebrew Bible, the central text of Rabbinic Judaism and the primary source of Jewish religious law and Jewish theology. We have gathered a few rules from the book that Jews are taught to follow. Keep in mind, the word goyim in Hebrew means a non-Jew in English. Sopharim 15. Even the best of goyim should all be killed. Yebamoth 98a. All children of goyim are animals. Baba Meziah 114b. Gentiles goys are not humans. They are beasts. Gadshas 2. A Jew may violate but not marry a non-Jew girl. Sander in 54b. A Jew may have sex with a child as long as the child is less than 9 years old. Tospot Jebamoth 84b. If you eat with a goy is the same as eating with a dog. Baba Meziah 24a. If a Jew finds an object lost by a goy, it does not have to be returned. The Book of Talmud is, after
I mean, what a book, right? What a book. And on that note, let's go to a video from Russia. This video is, I don't know exactly how many years old, but the person who is in this video, it's a Russian man, Russian politician, and I will introduce you this man. I don't know about him much, but I just look it up, and I'm sure some of you know, so you might put in the comment section. He died, you know, they always die if they oppose the ruling powers. So he died in 2020. How convenient, because Shmowit was there. Shmowit was good for the deep state, dark side as well, because you could remove people and blame it on Shmowit, right? Just think about it. So what happened? Well, first and foremost, let me start from the beginning. I came across this video on Instagram. Let me find it. And it really got my attention because it's originally in Russian. I understood a lot, but I didn't understand the entire video, and I really wanted to translate this for you. And I found the video, actually, original video. I with the translation, I could translate from YouTube. But let's focus on this post first, because I heard him saying what he was saying. Not this guy. You will see the one with the microphone, Konstantin Krylyov. This guy, okay, with the glasses, the bald guy. He was saying things about Russia, and he said that Russia is a colony, and it really got my attention what he's trying to say. And then I went on the comment section here, because here people from Russia were commenting, and someone said, the best description of modern Russia. Another person, the Jews in the studio were embarrassed. So I was, you know, I understood a lot, but I didn't understand everything. So I was thinking this might be a good video to bring to you and present to you another side that you will not see from many other sites, other people. And the last person, actually two more comments. One says, strangely died at age 52, 5 years ago already. Rest in peace, Konstantin. I won't be surprised that they killed him. And it got almost 3,000 likes, 2,743 likes. And the last one is, the Jews don't like what he reveals. So because of those comments, I really wanted to find the original video like this one, but with English translation. And I will play this for you. Before we go there, let me give you a short description. Who is this man? Before you hear him talking. So his name is Konstantin Krylyov. who sometimes used the pseudonym Nifont Dolgopolov, was a prominent Russian nationalist publicist, writer, and philosopher. He was born in Moscow 1967. He was a key figure in the Russian nationalist movement, known for his controversial views and political activism. He passed away in 2020. Let's see. A central figure in the Russian nationalist movement, Krylov advocated for national democracy. He was a primary organizer of the annual Russian marches in Moscow starting in 2005. And many other things. So you can find about him as well. And I actually asked AI, how did he die? Let me see. I ask here, how did he die? Konstantin Krylov died on May 12, 2020 at age 52 as a result of complications from a hemorrhagic stroke. He had initially suffered, I don't know how you say this word, hemorrhagic stroke on April 20th, 2020, you know, Shmovitz time, and was admitted to Botkin Hospital. He was later transferred to a rehabilitation center in the Moscow Oblast, where a second vascular stroke occurred on May 3rd, which ultimately proved fatal. He was buried at the Troyekurovskoye cemetery in Moscow. He was opposing Putin, and you might say that he probably was working with CIA or this or that. I didn't came across any of this already. But let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to what he has to say, and I tell you why. Because here is someone who is presenting the side of those who are in so-called power in Russia, that they are just being, I wouldn't say manipulated, I would say used, right? Used by a different nation, by a different force. And he is presenting this from a standpoint, that's what I'm trying to tell you with Chabad Lubavitch. He doesn't say Chabad Lubavitch, but this is what he's referring to, and how Russian citizens are being used and looked at as a cattle, as slaves. So this is the same approach that you see in pretty much every other country, really, because that's how the system is structured. Let's take a listen, guys. You have the translation in very large letters down below this video. Let me find it. I hope you will appreciate the content. And if you do, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Now I will mute myself. We make the screen bigger and let's go.
Я, честно говоря, считаю, что Россия, конечно же, не является империей, хотя бы потому, что она на самом деле является колонией. Это страна, управляемая колониальными методами. Метрополией можно считать, например, Кремль, а также некоторые вынесенные за пределы России места типа Куршевеля.
Напрашивается вопрос, кто управляет.
Управляет антинациональная элита, которая на самом деле воспринимает население как покоренных туземцев, ну, примерно как британцы воспринимали в свое время индусов. Они построили пирамиду народов, некоторые из которых приближены для того, чтобы угнетать туземцев, а большая часть народов, скажем так, не имеет никаких прав и существует именно как колониальное население. Прежде всего это касается русских. Поэтому Россию можно назвать, я бы сказал, не империей, не национальным государством, а антинациональным государством. Это будет самое точное научное определение того, в чем мы живем.
Дайте, пожалуйста, определение точное и научное антинационального государства.
Легко. Антинациональное государство – это государство, в котором существует одна, скажем так, наиболее угнетаемая нация. Ну, в нашем случае это национальное большинство, русские. Дальше существует пирамида народов. Некоторые нации также угнетаются, некоторые имеют несколько большие права. и используются, ну, примерно, как, допустим, сикхи использовались в Индии для того, чтобы держать в покорности и страхе коренное население. А сверху сидит, повторяю, антинациональная элита, главными свойствами которой является даже не то, что она по крови какая-то другая, а то, что, как вы правильно заметили, она абсолютно другая по духу. Она воспринимает население как быдло, рабов, стадо, а себя как абсолютных господ, которые, скажем так, должны управлять этим быдлом исключительно для себя.
Можно вас пригласить?
So in a nutshell, if you put Jewish in power, Jewish run the nation, doesn't matter what's the country, and then using them, you are suppressing the nation, the people who are originally Polish, Russian, British, name it, American. I mean, the same formula, isn't it? So what he was saying without saying, that's what he said. I believe that you have the colony because the Jewish, he didn't say it, but that's how I understand, run the country. Anyway, I'm not going to change my opinion once I see through the BS. I'm not going back to the illusion, delusion, confusion. I will attach the links down below in the description box. Remember, the truth will set you free, by the way. If you choose to support my work, you can donate on PayPal, join my Patreon for locals, or you can purchase my book number 1. There's 5 in total. The link is down below in the description box. And if you have Instagram, make sure to follow me there. It's AniaK_44. And with this being said, guys, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.